back to the English Playbook. I'm David.
And I'm Sarah. And today we're diving into something that pretty much everyone needs to deal with at some point: going to the bank.
That's right. Whether you're living abroad, managing your business, or just handling everyday finances, knowing the right English vocabulary for banking is absolutely essential.
And we're not just talking about depositing money or withdrawing cash. Today's lesson is all about something a bit more complex, but super important: wire transfers.
Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Wire transfers? That sounds complicated. But trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll feel confident walking into any bank and handling these transactions like a pro.
Exactly. So grab your notebooks, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. We're going to listen to a dialogue first, break down all the key vocabulary, and then give you some practical phrases you can use in real-life situations.
Ready, Sarah?
Let's do this.
All right. Here's our dialogue for today. Listen carefully.
Good morning. Welcome to Bank of the USA. How may I help you today?
Hi, I need to transfer some money to another account. It's urgent.
Okay. Have you made a wire transfer at our bank before?
No, I have never made a transfer before.
It's all right. I will take you through the procedure. Are you transferring funds to a company or an individual account?
A company account. I need to pay a bill.
Okay. I'll need the name of the company and their bank routing number, as well as their bank's address and phone number.
I have all the information in this folder.
Well, you've come prepared. I have all the necessary materials, so we can go ahead and make the transfer right now. It's a simple transaction, and we can process it today.
Oh, that's such a relief. I didn't want the payment to be overdue. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, so that was our dialogue. Pretty straightforward, right? But there's actually a lot of important vocabulary packed in there.
Absolutely. Let's break it down piece by piece. We're calling this section our language takeaway.
Love it. So the first word we need to talk about is one that appeared several times in the dialogue: transfer. David, what does this verb mean?
Great question. To transfer means to move something from one place to another. In the context of money, you're moving funds from one bank account to another account. It could be from your account to someone else's account, or from one bank to another bank entirely.
So basically, think of transferring as moving. But here's the thing. When we're talking about money, we're not literally carrying bags of cash from one place to another, right?
Exactly. That would be quite the workout. No, in modern banking, when we say transfer money, we mean it's done electronically.
Which brings us to our next term, wire transfer. This is a specific type of transfer where the money moves electronically between banks. One bank communicates with another bank, and the funds are transferred digitally.
Right. So it's all about the numbers in your account changing, not physical money moving around. The money itself never actually travels. It's just data being updated in banking systems.
Perfect explanation. Now, in the dialogue, we heard the customers say they need to transfer money to another account. Let's talk about what an account is.
Sure. An account is essentially a space for money in a bank that's registered to a specific person or company. Think of it as your personal or business storage space for funds.
And there are different types of accounts, right?
Absolutely. Most people have a savings account, which is where you keep money you want to save for the future. You usually earn a little bit of interest on this money.
Then there's a checking account, which is more of a day-to-day account. You put money in, but you're also frequently taking money out, paying bills, buying groceries, going to the movies, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And businesses often have their own business accounts with different rules about minimum balances, transaction limits, and so on.
So the key takeaway here is that both individuals and companies can have accounts at a bank, and there are different types depending on your needs.
Now, here's an interesting vocabulary point. In the dialogue, they didn't say transfer money, they said transfer funds. Sarah, why is that?
Great catch. Funds is basically another word for money, but it sounds more formal and professional. In banking context, we almost always use funds instead of money.
And notice that we usually say funds with an S at the end. It's a plural noun. So you'd say, I need to transfer funds, or I need to deposit funds in my account.
But here's something cool. Fund can also be a verb in the singular without the S. It means to pay for something or someone.
Right. So for example, my parents funded my college education means they paid for it, or the government funded the research project.
Love these little nuances. Okay, next word, transaction. What exactly is a transaction?
A transaction is any business deal or exchange involving money. In a banking context, it's something you do at the bank that usually involves moving or exchanging funds.
So, a wire transfer is a type of transaction. Depositing money into your savings account is a transaction. Withdrawing cash from an ATM is a transaction.
Exactly, but transactions aren't limited to just banking. Buying a car is a transaction. You give the seller money and they give you the car. That's an exchange, a deal.
Got it. Now, in our dialogue, the customer was worried about something being overdue. Let's talk about this word because it's super useful.
Yes, overdue means late. If something is due by a certain date and you miss that deadline, it becomes overdue.
So if your electricity bill is due on Wednesday, but you pay it on Thursday, it's overdue. If a library book was supposed to be returned last week and you still have it, it's overdue.
And here's a nice idiomatic usage. We can say something is long overdue to mean it should have happened a long time ago. For example, this conversation is long overdue, means we should have had this talk much earlier.
Or his promotion was long overdue. He deserved it a while ago.
Perfect examples. So those are our key vocabulary words: transfer, wire transfer, account, funds, transaction, and overdue.
And all of these are super practical for banking situations. Let's listen to the dialogue one more time, and this time try to catch all these vocabulary words in context.
All right, we're back. Now let's move on to what we call our fluency builder. These are key phrases that will help you sound more natural and confident when banking in English.
Our first phrase comes from the bank teller who told the customer, "It's all right. I will take you through the procedure."
Let's break this down. First, what's a procedure?
A procedure is basically the steps or process you need to follow to complete something. In this case, it's all the steps involved in making a wire transfer, filling out forms, providing information, signing documents, and so on.
Right, but procedures exist everywhere, not just in banking. A medical procedure, like heart surgery, has specific steps the doctors must follow. A manufacturing procedure outlines how to make a product.
Exactly. So the procedure is the how-to process. But the really useful phrase here is take you through the procedure.
When someone says they'll take you through something, they mean they'll help you understand and complete the steps. They'll guide you through the process.
So if I'm helping my younger sister open her first bank account, I might say, "Come with me to the bank tomorrow and I'll take you through the procedure." That means I'll help her understand what she needs and guide her through each step.
Love that example. It's such a helpful phrase. You can use it in so many situations. Let me take you through the recipe. I'll take you through the software installation. Can you take me through what happened?
Super versatile. All right, next phrase. In the dialogue, the customer explains, "I need to pay a bill."
Now, this might seem simple, but it's actually a very common and important phrase. We all have bills to pay: electricity bills, water bills, phone bills, internet bills, credit card bills.
The list goes on. And nowadays, paying bills electronically through online banking or wire transfers is becoming more and more common.
Exactly. So you might say, I need to go online and pay my bills. Or it's the end of the month, time to pay all my bills.
Or the dreaded, "Oh no, I forgot to pay the electric bill. I hope they don't cut off my power."
We've all been there. Now, here's something interesting. When you pay a bill, you're essentially canceling the debt. The bill exists because you owe money for a service, and paying it settles that debt.
Right. And that's why the customer in our dialogue needed to make the wire transfer urgently. They didn't want the payment to be overdue because that could mean late fees or other problems.
Absolutely. Okay, our third and final phrase is a bit more technical, but very important. Bank routing number.
Ooh, This one's crucial if you're ever making a wire transfer. David, what exactly is a bank routing number?
A bank routing number is a unique identification number for a specific bank and account. Think of it like an address for where the money needs to go.
So you can't just say, send the money to John Smith. You need John Smith's specific account number and the routing number for his bank.
Exactly. These numbers are usually quite long, and they're unique to prevent any confusion. Each bank has its own routing number, and then your personal account has its own number within that bank.
This is super important because the routing number tells the banking system exactly which bank and which branch the money should go to. Without it, the transfer can't be completed.
Right. And these numbers often contain information about what type of account it is. Is it a savings account, a business account, a checking account? All of that can be encoded in the routing number.
So when you're setting up a wire transfer, always make sure you have the correct routing number. Double check it. You don't want to accidentally send money to the wrong person.
Great advice. One wrong digit and your money could end up somewhere completely different.
Scary thought. All right, so those are our 3 key phrases. Take you through the procedure, pay a bill, and bank routing number.
Let's listen to the dialogue one more time. This time, try to catch all the vocabulary words and phrases we've discussed. See how they work together in a natural conversation.
Okay, David, let's talk about real-world applications. When would our listeners actually use this vocabulary?
Great question. Well, imagine you're studying abroad in the United States or the UK, and your parents need to send you money for rent or tuition.
Right. You'd need to go to the bank and receive those funds. You might say, I'm expecting a wire transfer from Spain. Has it arrived yet?
Exactly. Or maybe you're working remotely and need to pay an invoice to a company in another country. You go to the bank and say, I need to make an international wire transfer to this company.
And then the bank teller would take you through the procedure, just like in our dialogue.
Precisely. Now, one really common service for wire transfers, especially in the United States, is Western Union.
Oh, yes. Western Union locations are everywhere. You can walk in and say, I need to transfer funds to Mexico, and they'll help you send the money to another Western Union location where your recipient can pick it up.
It's super convenient, especially for international transfers. And now you have all the vocabulary to handle these situations confidently.
Another tip, always bring all necessary documents with you. Your ID, the recipient's information, the routing number if you have it, and any other paperwork.
Yes, being prepared like the customer in our dialogue makes the whole process much smoother and faster.
And don't be afraid to ask questions. Bank tellers are there to help you. You can say, can you take me through the procedure? Or, I've never done this before. Can you help me?
Absolutely. Banks want to make sure the transfer is done correctly just as much as you do.
All right, everyone, that wraps up today's episode of the English Playbook.
We've covered so much ground today, from basic vocabulary like transfer, account, and funds, to more complex terms like wire transfer and bank routing number.
And we've given you practical phrases you can use in real banking situations, whether you're transferring money internationally, paying bills, or just opening your first bank account. You now have the language tools you need.
Remember, practice makes perfect. Try using these words and phrases in your everyday conversations. Maybe even role play a banking scenario with a friend.
Great idea. And if you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of the English Playbook.
We'd also love to hear from you. Leave a comment telling us what banking vocabulary or phrases you'd like us to cover in future episodes.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Until next time, keep playing with English.
Bye.
Bye.